Dan Wootton unveils Starmer's alleged plan to rejoin EU single market, fact or fiction. In an explosive revelation that has sent shockwaves through the political landscape, Dan Wootton claims to have uncovered Labour leader Keir Starmer's alleged plan to rejoin the EU single market. This assertion isn't just a footnote in a political debate, it represents a potential betrayal of the democratic will expressed during the Brexit referendum, a decision that has irrevocably shaped the United Kingdom's identity and future. The stakes couldn't be higher. Just a few years after the nation voted to leave the European Union, Starmer's purported intentions have ignited fierce backlash from both sides of the political spectrum. Many fear that this move, if true, would mark an unprecedented reversal of the hard-fought victory that Brexit supporters celebrated. Critics argue that rejoining the single market would effectively undermine the very principles of sovereignty and self-determination that drove millions to the polls in 2016. This is not merely political maneuvering, it is a potential seismic shift that could redefine the UK's role on the global stage. Historically, the UK has stood as a beacon of independence, carving its own path amidst a complex web of international relations. The Brexit referendum was framed as a once-in-a-generation opportunity to reclaim that independence. Now, the prospect of re-engagement with the EU raises uncomfortable questions about the integrity of that choice. Starmer's positioning, whether strategic or sincere, has drawn sharp criticism from Brexit proponents who feel that the Labour leader is playing a dangerous game, one that could alienate a significant portion of the electorate that remains steadfast in its support for leaving the EU. Political figures have wasted no time in voicing their discontent. Prominent conservative voices have labeled this alleged plan as a betrayal of the British people. The country stands at a crossroads, they assert, warning that any attempt to re-enter the single market would represent a capitulation to Brussels that could have dire consequences for the UK's economy and global standing. Analysts warn that such a move might not only destabilize the fragile unity of the Conservative Party but could also embolden nationalist sentiments across the UK, particularly in Scotland and Northern Ireland, where questions of autonomy are increasingly pressing. The ramifications of this controversy extend far beyond the halls of Westminster. If Wootton's claims hold any weight, we may be witnessing the birth of a new political battleground, one where the struggle for the soul of the nation is fought not only in Parliament but in the hearts and minds of the electorate. The Labour Party, once seen as the champion of the working class, risks alienating its base by seemingly flirting with a return to EU governance. This could trigger a political realignment that could reshape the future of British politics for generations to come. Moreover, there is a palpable sense of urgency surrounding this issue. The British people will not forgive what they perceive as a betrayal of their democratic mandate. The implications of rejoining the single market could lead to increased regulatory oversight from Brussels, potentially stifling British innovation and entrepreneurship. The fight for the future of the UK is not merely about economic structures, it is about the fundamental values that underpin British society, values of freedom, autonomy, and self-governance. As the narrative unfolds, public discourse is becoming increasingly polarized. Supporters of Starmer argue that re-engaging with the EU is essential for the economic health of the nation, especially in the wake of global uncertainties. However, many remain unconvinced, fearing that such a realignment would dilute British sovereignty and diminish the country's ability to chart its own course. In this high-stakes political environment, one thing is clear, the nation is at a turning point. The potential for a new era of influence, whether it be through rejoining the EU single market or forging independent trade agreements, hangs in the balance. As citizens, we must remain vigilant and engaged in this critical dialogue. This is not just a battle of policies, it is a fight for the very identity of the UK. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and ensure your voice is heard. Like, subscribe, and become part of a growing movement that seeks to hold our leaders accountable and protect the democratic choices that shape our future. The stakes have never been higher, and together, we can influence the outcome of this monumental struggle.